So I'll ask you about the producing of the podcast in a minute, but Robbie, go ahead and start us.
Is there a camera I have to look at?
Right there in the middle.
Okay.
So the center camera is going to be on you for all of us the whole time.
Okay.
So.
God, because I am fucking dream world.
Are you happy in this modern world?
I feel so tall today.
Oh, you are in a tall chair today. Yeah, you look like a freak right now. You're way taller than me.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Welcome, lovers and friends. It's me, your boy, Mr. Everybody, and I'm joined today by my co-host.
Mar.
And we are joined by DJ Gina. How you doing, Gina?
Hi.
So you said you used to produce a podcast?
Yeah, like 4 years ago.
Why'd you stop?
Some shit went down and we had to not do it anymore.
Oh, okay. So
Safe answer.
as a DJ, how did that intro hit you?
What is that, Lady Gaga?
I mean, legally, I don't know who it was. It was some lady. It was some lady, and then some other things mixed in there. So, what type of music do you play as a DJ?
Depends on the party. Like,
Good answer.
yeah, I do a lot of different stuff, but like goth, techno, disco, house,
Ooh.
sweet spots.
Are you usually at?
The
I have a lot of
Dolphin.
friends that are DJs.
You ever heard of the Dolphin?
Where's
in
that?
South Philly.
Okay. No.
Yeah, it's like a 200 capacity like
Okay.
dive bar dance
Okay.
club.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so how long you been DJing for?
Like 16 years, almost
That's
17.
How old are you?
32.
I'm 32.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Great year. Mara's 12, so we can't curse around her, and that's why she drinks water all the time.
Yeah.
So how did you get into DJing? So you've been doing it for half your life now.
Like doing house parties. I just wanted to have music playing, so I bought DJ gear, but did not know what I was doing for like the first 5 years, and then I was doing like stupid like private parties, like engagements, birthdays, sweet 16s, etc. And then got into clubs when I was 21.
And now, do you enjoy the clubs more than you do the parties?
Oh yeah,
the private
I
events?
rarely do
You're like, I'm not
private
doing
shit.
that.
Yeah.
You don't do weddings and all that stuff?
No, if I do a wedding, I give them like 3 rules, and if they down with that, then I'll do it.
What are your rules?
1, I don't talk on the microphone. I'm like reluctantly doing this now, but I hate talking, so like you have to get an MC.
Right.
I'm not doing any of that shit. I don't take requests unless like the bride and groom have like a specific
Like
list
it's
of
your wedding song. Fine.
Yeah, then I'll play but like your guests have no control over what I'm gonna play. And then if your music that you want is like something that I play, I'll do it. But if it's like mainstream, like top 40 disco,
Yeah, you're
or
like,
not
we're
like
done.
wedding,
Disco has been in
wedding,
for so
like
long.
not like Cool and Gang, like all that shit. Like
Right.
not gonna play Celebration, all that stuff, or like whatever,
YMCA.
like Bruno Mars like wedding song is like the current thing right now. Like I don't do any of that. And so I've only done a few weddings, and they've all been amazing, but just because it's
You're like, this is the structure. You're either with it or you're not.
yeah.
At least you like pan it out. Like you're like, this is what I'm good for. Boundaries.
Literally, like, and if you don't want that, then find
Yeah,
somebody
that's
else.
fine.
And then you have to provide all the equipment. I'm not loading in shit. I'm not doing any of that. Like,
You really won't do
love her.
won't do anything for money.
no,
You're like Maura.
I don't need to do that shit.
I'm Justin.
You
I'm
can
fucking
pay, no matter
crying.
what it is, Maura will not accept money for anything. She's just like, nah, I won't do it.
Well, no, I'm just not doing something that I don't want to do because then it's not authentic.
But then it would be a job.
Yeah.
No, because you can make shit work for you. Someone will pay to have what you want to do. It's just a matter of being selective until that opportunity comes. Clearly.
Yeah.
So,
So are you at the Dolphin every weekend?
I'm there like 2 times a month, sometimes other random things, but I have like 2 monthly residencies there, and then the rest of my stuff is all random.
Just like different clubs?
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's your favorite gig though, is that bar?
Yeah, for the most part, those are like my residencies like every month.
So what if you're at the bar and one of your favorite guests or patrons come up and they request a song? You just still saying no, fuck you.
Yeah, there's like a huge sign right in front of the DJ booth. I also have no request tattooed on my arm.
As soon as somebody comes up, fuck
That's
you.
hilarious.
I should have got it in like Times New Roman on my forehead because no one can read this. Everyone thinks it says no regrets, and I'm like, nah, I would never get that tattooed on me.
So I'm walking up to you DJing, right? And as soon as I walk up, you just go,
No, they'll ask me, and I'll just be like, no, or I'll point to the sign, or I'll just nod and not play it. I don't find that doesn't really happen that often, like because the places I play at aren't like a place where people have the audacity to come.
Right.
It does happen, but not frequently.
So is your least favorite type of gig wedding then?
Yeah, but I don't do weddings
Yeah, you
unless
don't.
they're cool.
Yeah. So what's like your best night as a DJ that you can remember?
I got to open up for some like touring, like huge DJs, and like I got a really nice time slot. And so it was basically, I wasn't even opening. I was just DJing a huge party, and then they went on after me, and it was like amazing.
Right. You like prime them.
Yeah.
What's your like favorite time slot to be DJing?
3 to 5 a.m.
You like to be awake at 3 to 5 a.m.?
Oh,
Yeah.
so do you do after hours?
Yeah, that's like my bread and butter.
Oh, cool. So which one?
Just random ones.
Random?
Yeah.
I didn't
Because
even
like
know
I don't know that many in the city. Like I know like 2.
Yeah, which ones?
Tango sometimes. But they'll like push it till 3.
Yeah.
And then Gardendale.
No, these are like underground, like warehouse things. I don't do like the after hours
Ooh.
clubs like that. No, I do like raves like that go till like 6, 7
like
in the
the
morning.
bottom of like Tata goes to things like that. Like they're like in the bottom of like a like corporate work building,
Yeah.
and it's like you would never know that was down there.
How do people find out? Like, how do you get
It's like word of
contacted?
mouth. Like you have to be like lit
Yeah.
to get there.
So is it an actual club or is it just a
No,
random warehouse?
these are all underground spaces that are not licensed to be clubs.
and some
So we
dudes
will
just-
not be mentioning them.
No,
by
it's
name.
just like,
It's a flash gig, literally. Like people are just like, "Yo, you got to show up at 3 a.m."
yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And then how do everyone just finds? It's not on Facebook, I'm guessing. It's a text.
No, you
No,
got-
it's like there's
word of
flyers
mouth.
that go on like Instagram and Twitter, but
And
or-
it'll be
but-
like location, like day of, or things like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, you have to buy a ticket, then they'll email you, and then
Sneaky little snakes around there. That'd be. I don't think I would ever be awake for that. Are you normally awake at that time?
yeah.
What's like a regular day for you? Like, what time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed?
I usually go to bed around like weekdays, like 3 or 4, weekends, like 7, 8, 9 sometimes.
What time are you waking up? This is just.
And then during the week,
Justin's like literally about to shit
I'm-
himself.
Like
Do you
I'm
see
waking
his
up
face?
like I'm waking up like 5 o'clock. So I just don't understand like what time you're waking up.
oh,
Well,
so-
you also stay in Ridley, and you don't leave your house really unless you're going on like a hike or out to dinner or something.
Dinner, podcast, comedy show. Those are like the 3 things I'll go to.
And at the comedy show, you're itching because it's like 9:30.
It's if it's during the yeah. I'm tired. My tummy's upset because I probably had to eat something outside of the house. I normally eat oatmeal for dinner.
It's a genre, okay? She
bad bitch
works
genre.
in a genre.
So, what's the worst night you ever had as the DJ?
there's a bunch, like, I don't know, it's like a shitty crowd, or no one shows up, or it's like pouring rain, or the weather's terrible.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That like deters people for sure.
Are you DJing outside a lot?
No, but people
sometimes,
be
but just like,
bitching.
yeah, people, if it's like it's shitty weather, people don't want to go out.
Get in an Uber, get out of the Uber, wait in a line, find the secret dungeon.
Yeah.
This dungeon. I want to go to a dungeon party. Just
Like,
once.
is it like kind of like
I used to
Hotel
do
Lorraine
ones like that.
and things like that?
Like what?
Like the Hotel Lorraine?
Like Divine Lorraine?
Yes.
Yeah, I've
Sorry.
DJ'd there. Yeah, but they don't do like underground
okay,
shit.
okay.
That like they're literally underground, but not.
You're like,
they close at
they're-
2. Yeah.
Right, you're like, they're legal.
I feel like I'll never get invited to this, will I?
Probably not.
Maura, you might. Is it
Maybe.
Have you been invited to one of these?
I mean, in LA.
LA.
It's
You were cooler
more-
there, and now you're not as cool.
Well, I mean, I was working a lot of the time here. So, like, I mean, I've been working the past 2 years every weekend
Mm-hmm.
until this past month. And
She quit her job. She said, "No more. I won't do it."
I'm like, we're done. But, like, when you're in the industry and you're at, like, the clubs, you're going to the after hours, like Gardendale or like Tango, or you're going back to someone's house usually, like, or a apartment or penthouse or whatever the fuck.
This is a life I've never lived. I've never been awake for any of these parties. Even when I lived in Vegas, I was like, yo, it's like 10 p.m. What are we doing?
Yeah, no.
But
That's like
people
when people are leaving their house at 10 p.m.
I don't go to clubs, I go to bars. So I normally get to meet bar people who are like 10 p.m. Yeah, you're right. Let's get some food to get the fuck out of here.
Well, luckily there are places that are open 24/7. So like I would go to an after hours and then I would go to Gino's at like 4 or 5 and they would be like, oh my God, hey. Like they knew me because I would go there every weekend because they're the only thing that was open.
It's the only thing you'll eat too.
Well, that's kind of
Have you eaten anything today?
A little.
If you say fucking Frappuccino.
I did.
That's it? Is that it?
Kind of.
And you worked out pretty hard today, yeah?
Yeah, well, I actually had rice and chicken from Whole Foods
Oh, shit.
after the gym.
That's-
Turning up.
That's a
turning
big
up.
deal, Gina. She does not eat.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You eat, correct?
Yeah.
You know,
I
food.
ate
You've heard of food before.
Yeah.
Maura just goes Frappuccino and then that's it normally.
It's like 500 calories. I'm like, that still counts.
It's a lot.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are you from Philly?
Not originally.
Where are you originally from?
Like North Jersey.
Okay. So like kind of New York vibes?
Like, I was born in Bergen, which is closer to New York, and then moved to Morris, which is like closer to PA,
Okay.
middle of nowhere.
Oh, really?
So what got you out here?
College.
Where'd you go to college?
Drexel.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Newman, then I went to a few colleges. Oh, well. So what's like your dream event to play at? Somewhere you've always wanted to DJ?
Like Miami, those clubs are cool. Like Ibiza, obviously, Berlin. I haven't DJed out of the country yet, so that's a goal.
Have you been outside of the country?
Yeah, not to DJ though.
You've been to Ibiza?
No.
Oh, I've been there. It was cool.
Yeah.
But it was a trip wasted on me because again, I don't go to clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid like 20 euros for a Corona, and I don't even like Corona. And I
What
waited
is
like
a euro compared to $1?
at the time it was like $1.50 for €1.
What? How cheap?
I feel like now they're about the same.
It's probably I think we're actually we were beating them
Yeah.
like a few months ago. I don't know now, but euros are used to be worth more. So I was paying like $30. I paid $30 for one beer, and it was a one beer limit or max.
I would literally off myself. That's ridiculous.
But it was the biggest club in the world. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like multiple levels and super loud. It was crazy. But do you wear like when you're in the club, since you're in clubs a lot, do you wear like I guess like little mufflers like
Yeah, I'm like the biggest like annoying preacher of those.
because I'm guessing it gives you a headache if you're not, even if you are playing.
Yeah, like if it's like over a certain like decibel level, it's like damaging, and most parties are that because it just like it sounds better,
Better,
but
yeah.
it's not good for you at all. So like my one friend, her day job is literally just fitting people's ears, and like it's like a custom mold of the inside of your ear, and then a month later you get like these custom earplugs that go in, and you could hear the music perfectly fine, but then you don't like wake up with like
A headache.
tinnitus or
Yeah.
like
Oh, so I was in the military. When there was these ones where when you would shoot, you would hear it muffled. Anything above a certain decibel will be muted,
Yeah.
or turned down. But I could hear you talking to me right here from here to here.
No, they're great. I could still have
that's
conversations
so
with
cool.
people, and I could stand right in front of a speaker and not be in like pain. And like I've like forgotten them at certain nights and like regretted it so much.
That's insane. I didn't
yeah.
know that because even like serving in a club, that would be helpful. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I always tell all the bartenders, all the door guys, like
Yeah.
anyone that works there should be wearing them. Like it's so crucial to have them, especially the older you get.
Right.
Like I literally didn't start wearing them until after lockdown happened. Like before that, I had them. I just never wore them because I was lazy. And afterwards, I was like, why didn't I start earlier?
Yeah, you're like, hello.
Do you think your hearing's fucked up right now?
Potentially. I think like I was preemptive when I started wearing them, and I don't see it, but I definitely notice in a lot of my colleagues and friends who are like so deaf. It's like annoying.
You're like, you can't hear me? Okay.
Do you age out of DJing? I don't really remember a lot of like older DJs in bars and clubs.
A lot of my friends are way older than me, so I wouldn't say no. Yeah, I know like 60-year-old DJs, 50-year-old, 40. Yeah.
Mark, could you DJ?
I could look like I'm DJing.
She could be cute behind the thing, but
If someone did a mix for me and then I stood there, I think I could
you guys
fuck
should
it up.
go on the road together. You talk.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah.
like my dream situation, to be
you
honest.
be the MC.
Yeah, I would love that.
Gina, you just now. I know a lot.
I don't think she would like my talking though.
What
She
do you
would be
think?
like, "Shut
So
the
far,
fuck
are you
up."
annoyed?
I would be like,
Well, if I'm at a club, I don't like anyone talking on the mic. If I go somewhere and the DJ's like, put your fucking hands up, like that shit drives me crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like, just shut up and play music. But like weddings, you need that. You need someone to be like, all right.
well, it's funny too because I feel like different clubs have like different aesthetics in that
Yeah,
way. You know,
I'm more so not in that world of
Right.
like, put your fucking hands up.
right,
like,
right. Yeah, like the club that I worked at, like they would always be like, "We want mic work. We want mic work. Like you
Yeah.
need to work the room."
That's not where I play or like the
Right.
parties that I go to.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
you're
like
like
that.
no.
In my mind, I would be more annoyed by mic work, like you're saying. But I don't go to clubs. But people stopping to talk to me about anything would probably be annoying.
Well,
me.
it's not like they stop the music. Like they're talking over it. Like they're like, "How we feeling? Like, do we got any like birthdays in the house? Libra season? Da 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 da." Stuff
Yeah,
like
not
that.
for me.
Gina, all right, where do you land on this whole astrology thing? Are you into it, not into it?
I acknowledge that it exists, but I don't follow it. Like I don't.
Now, if
I'd have to look on my phone. I don't remember what my like signs are.
right, let's say you don't know, like, say I'm a Virgo, we're not a good match.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Do you even know what yours? I only know what I am because Maura is really annoying about it.
I'm a Gemini and I think Sagittarius rising.
You know too many
and
things.
Aquarius moon.
I'm an Aquarius
that could
too.
be that could be opposite. I have to always look on my
Yeah,
phone.
double check.
But I do have a lot of friends that are super into it, so like I don't want to talk shit and
Yeah,
say
you're
that
just
it's
like
fake. I'm just like,
entertainment. Okay. You're like Mercury's in Gatorade. Got it.
Asparagus moon.
So, what's like your favorite song to play when DJing?
My favorite song?
Yeah.
There's
Hus-
too many.
Do
Yeah.
Hus fish.
Her face. I'm like, Justin, that is such a not DJ question.
Not a DJ question.
Yeah,
your
it all
favorite song?
depends.
You
like
can't
the party.
ask that question.
How
Like,
can
I don't
you
have a
not?
favorite song of all time or anything.
Like if the room's really boring, you don't have a song to like pick it up.
I mean, Fleetwood Mac is always like my go-to if I know like people are.
Landslide.
Yeah, landslide really
Slow
gets
things
everyone
down.
going.
Yeah, like what?
That's literally the only Fleetwood Mac song I know. What's the?
Gypsy?
I don't know, Gypsy. How's it go? I'm a gypsy.
No. Egyptian.
A gypsy, wanna dead or alive.
Gypsy and Egyptian are not the same.
Oh, they're different. Oh shit.
Very much.
So do you have like a least favorite song?
A least favorite song?
Yeah, like something that people request a lot. You go, I will never play that.
Yeah, top 40.
I don't know. There's so many terrible songs that are somehow popular and on the radio, but I don't have like a specific one.
Or is there like a popular musician? I feel like you're really into pop. Is there a popular musician that you don't like?
No, I love dancing. So if you put something on and I can move, which most likely I can, I'm good.
I know like Bad Bunny right now is like
Oh,
the number one like requested artist. Like these girls will just come up with their
Yes,
phone
yes.
like and it'll just say Bad Bunny and they're just like
Yes.
smashing it in your face. That hasn't really happened to me, but like I do have friends that work in those clubs that are all, like that type of
No,
music.
Bad Bunny, that request is pissing all the DJs off.
Yeah, and like now there's
Like,
this
if one more
app
person
that you
asked
can
me,
flash requests and
DJ
it's so
or
annoying.
Bad Bunny.
What's
well,
the
I was
song?
just in Nashville.
It's
There's
not even a
lot.
song. It's just him in general. Like I
he
feel
has a
like
lot of
these
songs.
they're like white girls who don't even speak Spanish that are just like play Bad Bunny and I don't know.
Taco
It's
Bell.
true. Well, I was just in Nashville, and also Taylor Swift was playing in Nashville.
Yeah, that's another one.
And
Taylor Swift's
it was so funny because I ended up like in a section.
Gina just said, "Yep."
We were talking about Bad Bunny. Now we need tequila.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna
Puerto
go with
Rican,
Captain. I'm going Captain real fast because too many tequilas.
You got any more White Claws?
Yes.
Sorry, I already
Oh no, definitely.
chugged that one.
I have one before you got here, so fair is fair. I actually might need a beer. Robbie, do you mind grabbing me a beer, please? Oh man. All right. So what were you saying, Mar?
I ended up in a section in Nashville, like in a club. And first of all, the DJ sucked, to be honest. And like I don't catch that usually, but it was not good. But it was just so funny because all the girls kept holding up Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift. I'm like, bitch, that's not happening right now. But then it would. So, I mean, ask and receive, I guess.
It's crazy. Like, there's all these like Taylor Swift
Like
themed
remixes?
parties now.
Oh, yeah.
That make so much money, and it's like you're not even seeing Taylor Swift. You're just seeing a random DJ only play Taylor Swift for 4 hours.
Well,
And there's like 30 of them in Philly, and they're all like sell out and are so lucrative, and it pisses me off.
the Swifties in Nashville this weekend was insane. Like the outfits, because each album has like a theme. So like one album I think is called Sparkle. One album is called like I don't know what they're called. But basically, all of the Swifties were like theme dressed. And like these outfits, some of these outfits were like the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like I was like, holy shit, like these are full-fledged, like 2-3 week long production outfits, like that they like handmade. Like I was mind blown by it.
She makes bank.
Did you see that video that went viral? It was like in New York, like a subway car.
Oh my God,
by.
yes.
And then all of a
All
sudden,
the
this,
people are
all the
pissed.
girls come on.
this woman's just like, no way. And then the door opens up, and it's just like,
like,
a
"Be
stampede
careful."
of basic bitches just going in there. Like,
When I lived in Vegas, I worked on the military base, right? Right outside the military base, there was this big EDM, Electric Daisy Carnival thing. And when I would leave there, it was the same time there were all these people coming in and leaving. There were people just passed out on the side of the road.
eyes rolling behind them.
So much, I'm sure you would have loved it. So much techno music. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my, I couldn't get anywhere. So I was like, stop. All I heard the whole time, I'm like, I just want to get home. And it's just 3 hours of the same to the untrained ear. I'm sure it was different music that I wasn't used to. So I was like, I just need to get home. So it drove me crazy. So, Gina, are you in a relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, how long have you been in a relationship for?
Like 2 years.
Oh shit. So how'd you meet this person?
So I used to work at a salon like 8 years ago, and they actually used to come and get their hair done there.
Okay. So
And then like years later, so that's how we first met, and we were always aware of each other. But apparently they had a crush on me for years, and then we matched on Tinder. But I don't like to consider us a Tinder relationship.
I met my girl on Bumble, so I mean, there's no. Do you think you don't like it because it's an online thing or because it's Tinder specific?
Because like we didn't meet on there. It was like I knew this person beforehand.
You're just like, oh, so you want to fuck.
We also like, I always joke that our first date was like, I went on a date with some other girl, and they were on a date with their ex, and we went to go shoot guns. And I didn't know that, like, I was just going with this girl to shoot guns, and we showed up, and my friend, who is now my partner, was there, and we all shot guns together. And then they broke up with their ex, whose gun we were using the whole time.
That's hilarious.
So it was really funny.
You're like,
So I'm like, oh yeah, remember when we shot guns on our first date while you were still dating somebody else?
Are you a big gun person?
No.
It was just so it was a real awkward date.
Yeah.
Did you like the person at the time?
I just, yeah, impartial.
Impartial.
I was more interested in the
It's like
person
you
I
just
went
thought they
with.
were
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
That's cool. So currently I'm drinking a Bud Light. What do you think of the whole Bud Light saga?
So the girl that they had doing it, I think is like one of the most annoying people ever. And like I don't like Bud Light anyways, so I'm like impartial. I
I've always
don't
hated
give a
Bud Light.
shit. Like
Yeah. I've always hated Bud Light, but I thought the reaction was fucking crazy.
I think it's really silly that all these people are just buying beer and then destroying them because like, oh, you're buying beer that you just spent money on. Cool. And it's just like, I don't know who they were aiming for when they hired her, and then all of your customers are a bunch of like right-wing like rednecks.
Right.
Like who
read
just
the
get-
room.
Also, they always make like fun of like liberal people for like cancel culture, but like who's the actual person's getting all worked up over shit? Like
All the time.
you got so butthurt that there's a trans girl drinking Bud Light that you're gonna boycott the grossest beer company anyways. So like
The grossest.
Dude, I've always hated Bud Light, but it's
Because
known.
Bud Light. Never mind. I'm not even gonna answer.
Bud Light's a known redneck company. So they tried to show that they're not all rednecks with this commercial. It backfired. They are
First of all,
rednecks.
did you do further investigation? Because it wasn't a commercial.
It was a ad,
it
whatever
was like
it was.
an
No,
influencer
It was
thing.
literally
Yeah.
a PR package.
Uh-huh.
And it just happened to go viral. But there are other beer companies that sent to Black, white, Asian, LGBTQ, single, everybody. And it just happens that this one woman went viral. But like the other companies are doing the same thing. Every company is doing that. Like every company is using influencers. It just so happens that this one went viral. Because after I went on my little rant, I had to like do a little research.
Did you see her rant?
Because I'm like,
I saw the clip. Yeah.
yeah, well, fuck that. Because
It's just
people,
stupid.
people just like to be upset because then it's easier to not deal with the shit in their life that's upsetting them.
All those people that got butthurt about it definitely watch like trans porn and are just insecure inside.
Right. I'm like, okay, if it's not for you, it's not for you. So why are you talking about it?
Like for you to get so visibly upset over it, you're hiding some shit deep down
Right.
inside.
That's what I said. I was like, you're
overcompensating.
avoiding your
Yeah.
own shit. But what do I know? I'm not a psychiatrist.
There was a 26% loss in sales of Bud Light after that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That people cared
I mean,
that.
26 is,
Oh, well, it's billions of dollars for Bud Light.
they'll be fine.
Yeah, they will be fine,
And then,
but
did you see their next commercial that they put out? That
It was
just
like-
America.
it was a Chris Stapleton, like
with a bunch of
or
horses.
Zach Brown, like whatever, like the most American song possibly could be, was all they tried to be like, you know what? Actually, fuck them.
Oh my God. Well, it's actually funny because I like went home and sometimes Reef will stay at my house when he's working in the city. And after that episode, I was like, did you know about this? Because I don't watch the news. Like
She doesn't know anything.
I stay in La La Land. Like I just like to be in a good mood and happy and connect with people who are ready to connect. That's it. But he's like, yeah. So he's like kind of like giving me the tea. I'm like, what the fuck? And then my old neighbor who like owns the building. Well, so the building that I live in, everybody owns their condo, but the guy who owns like the condo association and like the garage attached to it, like whatever. He is this old man. He's like maybe like 73, but he's so cool. But he's just like old school. Like he and his wife wants him to retire, yada, 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 whatever. He comes in my loft the other day and because he was like,
This is in Port Richmond?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he comes in and he's like, he just like thinks my space is so cool. And he's like, all right. I was like, look, I set up this podcast studio in here, like this, and this. And he's like, it's so cool. And he's like, I think I have a table that I can make you for right there. And then he's like, this wall is real empty. He's like, I have this huge American flag downstairs. And I'm like, just dead silent. And Reef is just looking at me like, tell him no then. And I'm just like, so the table, like, well, I'm really excited about the table. I'm like, do not put a fucking American flag in my house
funny
right
how
now.
like an American flag has become like equated to like a hate symbol at these times. Like,
it is. Like, I used to be like 4th of July and stuff, like, but also I lived in LA. So I think that kind of like really gave me a different perspective on things. But I was like, the 4th of July girly, like I have my little American flag bikini. Like I loved 4th of July. Like, what are we talking about? But then obviously as time has gone on, I'm like, dude, this is a fucking dumpster fire. I'm like, I can't.
No.
I can't do this.
No, I do love the idea of America. I do like the idea where we're all
The original one.
where we're all created
Well,
equal.
not the original.
So I like the idea. Now, people that use it for their own poor intentions, where they're most of the time right now in the media it's shown as hate. So a lot of don't give a fuck Republicans. Ever since Trump just thought they can get away with everything. And they use America as a reason to be racist or hateful towards certain groups, which is not what America was supposed to be the thought of.
Right,
Now,
I agree.
obviously, it was founded with slavery, so that's...
yeah.
Well, that's why I'm like, I'm not talking about the original America. I'm talking about the one when everything started to like try and unite. That one was cool.
The idea of America is a great idea. Now, how it's been acted on,
Yeah, it's
not been so great multiple times throughout.
I think everyone forgets like the most important part of America is the separation of church and state, and then you have all these religious fanatics in positions of power that are trying to enforce their Christian values on everybody else, which we're not. We're a country of everyone from different religions, people that don't have religion. So why should we follow whatever your God says?
Right.
So, all right, so like with that, so I was in the military, right? When I first joined the military, I didn't know, a lot of this is ignorance to other groups of people that you haven't met before. So before I joined the military, I knew there was probably one black family that I know. I didn't know anyone gay. I never met anyone transgender.
That was out yet.
That was out.
Right.
So,
Or not out yet.
yeah, obviously, I could have definitely known gay people at the time.
Yeah.
Did it, but nobody was openly gay. I've never met anyone like that in our hometown, right? No, I don't think so. I'm going to go back. I'm pretty sure I didn't. That I met, when you move around, you meet rednecks. You're like, oh, all rednecks are going to think the same way. There's no, like, all gay people are the same way. All blah, 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 blah are the same way. But once you start to meet other people, you could actually open up and have a dialogue and learn what other groups of people are like.
Well, yeah, and everyone like had their own like hardships, and you know, everyone comes from different things. It's like it doesn't really matter what happened like in the past. It's kind of how you are now, in my opinion, at least, or it should be like that. But
No, you can still be gay and Republican and
Yeah.
gay and racist.
yeah,
Whatever you want to be.
right.
Now, how do you identify, Gina?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, are you gay? Are you straight? Are you...
I'm like pretty much bi, I guess. Like, I like both. Like,
Okay. Is your partner...
my partner is non-binary.
What does that mean?
So
Just
like,
for people that don't know.
You.
All right, so I'm a straight white guy, right? So I have a lot
You.
I have a lot of questions that people that
so
don't know.
they have like masculine and feminine traits, and like don't like to go by he or she. Like they prefer they them pronouns. And
Are you similar or?
no, I'm she her. I'm like binary as fuck. Like I'm total woman. Like I don't.
Uh-huh. We're now. I want to kind of like have like a genuine conversation between
Okay.
somebody who's obviously been straight his whole life, just because I
Yeah.
feel like this conversation doesn't happen a lot.
Okay.
Are you cool with all?
Sure.
If you think I'm offensive, you can.
Okay.
You can put through my-
No, I'd rather
I'll
educate
shut
you.
this shit the fuck down if it
Give me
hurts
another
me.
shot first.
Okay, definitely. I want to educate me for being stupid. I will be the dumb redneck in this conversation.
Just be dumb. You don't need to be a redneck.
I'll be the dumb guy who's never heard of most of the things.
Please.
And I genuinely want to have this conversation because a lot of people don't get to have this
Okay.
conversation
Well-
between two people.
Cool. I'm glad to be that person. To
My gosh. It's no big deal.
So,
She's also nice to, like, because even, like, when like, the Black Lives Matter movement was happening and, like, the George Floyd stuff, like no one is, like, obligated to teach you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it is, like, a nice, like, a really it's appreciated.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because
No, I
people don't
transitioned
have
like
to.
8 years ago, so my skin's a lot thicker now, so I don't give a shit. I'll be able to have this conversation and not get offended.
Right.
So like, go for it.
So you were born a male, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious. So your name is Gina. Were you born with a similar name?
Nah, kind of. I kept the same letter.
Okay, the same
Yeah.
first letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to keep my initials similar.
Okay, makes sense. So when did you start to feel like you were in the wrong body?
Like I didn't know how to describe how I felt up until like within the last 10 years when it was starting to be more prevalent. Like,
Right.
like Jerry Springer just died, but like he set back trans issues and rights like years because a lot of people's first encounters were like these stupid like stories like, oh, this man's a woman or this woman's a man, and like my husband is like this, and like there's always like these freak people on his show that like that's all you had
Like the most exaggerated.
yeah,
Right.
like oh,
And it was just like dehumanizing, kind of.
extremely, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I was like, oh, I'm not like that. I'm not a freak. Like I'm not like that. Or like you had like Ace Ventura. Like the main thing was like the person was actually a man, and like that was like the whole plot
Finkel
line.
as Einhorn.
There's like this really good documentary on Netflix called Disclosure, and they talk about how trans representation in the media was so like fucked up. Like it was like either like you're always just like a dead like trans prostitute in like a Law and Order show. That was like
Right.
a common, like there was this one actress, she played the same role like 10 times, and it was always just like a murdered like sex worker.
Okay.
And like it was always like a plot line in a movie, like what was that, like Sleepaway Camp or something, where it was like the murderer was like actually like the whole movie she's played by a girl, but in the final scene like clothes come off and it's like clearly a man with like
Right.
a huge dick, like and like that's like the like supposed to scare you at, like I was like, and that's all like you had in media was just like nothing positive.
Yeah,
at
it was
all.
programming. They like were plotting against.
Yeah.
So Sorry, go ahead.
No, so like I didn't really have a way to recognize that that's what I was. Like I always just felt like something was wrong with me. I didn't like feel that I was in the wrong body. I was smart enough to realize what I was born as, and I didn't know that there was a way to change it other than being like those freaks you'd see like on. I'm not calling them freaks, but like they were portrayed as freaks on like talk shows or as like villains in movies.
Right.
Or like in porn, there was always like she-male porn and stuff like that, which was always a huge genre for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, and it's true what you're saying too about like, so a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but so I'm 29. But when I was in like high school, there were people that I went to high school with that like were into trans women, but like were so closeted about it, and it's like it was not mainstream. Like now it does have like a voice and a face and like a heart, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not what you're saying, like a character.
Yeah.
Like it's real life. Like this is real.
Speaking of like a voice and a face, so like growing up, you obviously felt a little different. Did you have somebody you looked up to? Like for me, looked up to Stone Cold. That's the guy I want to be when I get older. Who did you look up to growing up? Going through this.
For like as a trans person? No, I had no one trans back then.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like there's no obviously role models to look up to growing up because we're the same age.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like I don't know. Didn't really have any celebrity role models like that. Yeah.
So how did your family or friends react when you started going through this transition? Did they kind of always have an inkling?
So I thought that everyone would have this thought that I was, or they did have an inkling, but it turned out to be like a total shock. I was like, you guys didn't expect it after the third or fourth time I was a girl for Halloween? Like, I thought in the back of my head people were going to catch on, but like no one did.
You're like context clues. Hello?
I kill this girl costume.
Yeah.
You're like, I am really that bitch. Like for real.
I lost a few friends, but for the most part, like a lot of my friends stuck with me, and my family was like, I'm extremely grateful and fortunate that my family was very accepting and supportive.
Did you grow up in like when I was going to say traditional, but did you grow up with a father and mother household situation?
Yeah, so I grew up in like a strong Greek Christian household.
Okay.
So I also thought that I was going to hell my whole life, that there was like something completely wrong with me, and like that there was no way I should do that. And then growing up and you started smoking weed and doing other psychedelics, you were like, oh, everything's bullshit. Like
Mara loves Mara goes for psychedelics.
I watched Fantastic Fungi last night and I was just geeking.
She watches this like once a week.
I do.
Yeah, and then like so once I gave up religion, it was easier for me to like come to terms with myself and like realize that it was okay and that I shouldn't hate myself for who I am. And then like it was kind of like a slow process of like, I told like my two lesbian friends first. They were like the first people that I ever came out to, and then they took me out and got to experience
They're like, look,
life.
it's okay. There's more people. Like
then I told like, more and more people. Like my best friend at the time, I told his girlfriend because she was a makeup artist, but I didn't tell him. So I only told her to like help me like with makeup and stuff. Yeah. And then he found out through her and was like furious that like I didn't tell him first, that I told his girlfriend.
Now,
it's scary. I could imagine.
Yeah,
like what?
A lot of my friends back then were like super like machismo, like alpha guys that like I was terrified if they ever found out. And then eventually I was like, whatever, this is the deal. Like
because there's so much, like you were saying, like shame painted around like in general, like. Even being gay, I feel like probably at that point in time,
I had a bunch of gay friends.
Okay.
Like that was okay, but like even like my one gay friend who I thought would have been accepting wasn't.
Really?
Surprisingly, like you would have thought, but he was like the one who I like excommunicated the first out of
you're
everyone.
like, you're done.
Did you come across, so you were saying machismo like manly, did you come across as manly or were you?
So I definitely like later years in high school tried to overcompensate and like lifting weights and trying to be someone who I completely wasn't, and like I regret it so much. So I'm glad that
high school's weird.
Yeah.
For everyone. Yeah, I was pretty weird in high school. Robbie was definitely weird. He used to be Italian, now he's Puerto Rican. So he's going through his own transition and fat. He's getting fat too.
Let me live, all right?
Let him be fat. So speaking about transition, what part of your what does transition mean to you? Like what part of it are you into being the end result what you want, like physically, emotionally?
There really is no end result. It's just like you just keep going.
Ongoing,
Yeah.
Do you go through? Like, have you been through like surgeries?
I got like laser hair removal. That was like the most like invasive.
Oh, and
everything else is all just taking hormones.
so if you guys are listening,
Gina has better boobs than me.
yeah, she has great boobs.
Yeah,
Got great. That's all drugs.
like-
yeah, people think that
I'm
these are
just
fake.
saying.
Like I always like thought about getting a boob job, and then like I switched up like my hormone regimen a couple years ago, and then I just got huge tits. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're awesome. Honestly,
Great tits.
They're right there. I can't stop.
I have to look
looking.
again.
Like,
got a
holy
girlfriend.
shit.
Got to look up. Can't look at the boobs, but the boobs are there. So if you're listening, go watch. Great fucking boobs. Has there been? So you said there's no other surgeries. So like,
Nah.
do you want to get rid of anything below the belt?
Not until they make like magical vagina pills.
Okay. So, I mean, the drugs obviously are working on the chest. Right?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know if
It's a
surgery's
lot.
at where it needs to be at, and there's so much risk of like not being able to have sex or just like the healing process, and I don't know. I wish they had surgery to like make my hands and feet smaller or my height smaller.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really bothered by that much. Yeah.
So is your?
Yeah, you're allowed to ask me that, but like I would never ask that to another trans person.
I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
but I gave you
Thank
permission.
you.
So
Thank
like,
you.
I'm just saying,
Again,
but, like,
at any
yeah,
time if
don't
I'm wrong,
Let them
yeah.
know.
I'll pull the sleeve up. You can pitch me hard as fuck.
Yeah,
if you
no,
want.
you keep going, but I'm just saying, like, just if you're having casual conversations with another
wanna do
trans
it casual,
person,
yeah.
don't ever bring that up.
Only in the podcast when I ask. It's not just for me. It's for the rest of the world that is curious about a topic that's not normally discussed as openly as we
Yeah,
are doing.
no, I'm totally fine with it.
Thank you. So, I'm going down. Do you think there should be an age where someone can begin their transition? Because a lot of times you hear on Fox News like, oh, they're too young to know what they want. Again, I don't watch Fox News. Just things I've seen.
I feel like they exaggerate everything like that. Like little kids are not getting surgery or doing anything. Like their parents are just letting them grow out their hair or cut their hair or dress in a different way. Like once you're like 12, 13, if you're still in it at that age, like that's fucking real. Like let them be who they are.
Right.
And it's like they make puberty blockers that you could take, which are completely reversible. So say you're a 12-year-old trans kid and you really think that you're trans, you could take these so that you don't go through puberty and you won't have to get as many surgeries as you want later because you're preventing a lot of that stuff ahead of time.
How does that work? That's so interesting. I didn't know that existed. So like if you're taking those and then like let's say you turn like 21, do you have to keep taking it your whole life?
So then like you would start puberty blockers at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
and then once you like are of like going through puberty, you would just take the hormones of the gender you want to be.
Okay.
So like say you're a female and you want to be male.
Yeah.
You take puberty blockers at a right age, you won't grow boobs. So then they don't have to go and get their boobs removed, and that's what everyone's freaking out about now
Right.
is like all these girls that want to get their boobs removed because they want
Right.
to be men.
Right.
But if you start them off at the right age and they know for sure that they are, I think by 12, 13, you know who you are, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
if
or
say,
like your
say
preferences.
say you start like 4 or 5 years old, like this kid is like really showing signs of being trans.
Right.
By the time they're 12, if they haven't given that up, it's not a phase. Like,
Right.
everything before that's reversible. Let them start taking the hormones, and then like, you know who Kim Petras is? Huge pop star.
Oh yeah. Yes.
She started when she was like 8 years old. Like you could never tell that she's trans now because
Right.
she.
No. Well, I mean,
her voice sounds
All of it,
beautiful. Like
yeah.
her whole body. Like you could never tell that
Nope.
she was born male.
Do you have to like? Do you play up your voice sometimes to lower or higher the pitch?
Yeah, it depends like who I'm talking to. Like I'll find myself like if I'm with someone that I'm like really close with, like my voice will drop down because I'm not like trying to be, but like I'm trying really hard right now because I know this is being recorded, but like I don't know, it probably sounds like shit anyways. But yeah, I hate talking.
Are you nervous about it? Because
She's
Yeah,
a real one.
it's
She's a real one. She's like, all right, here. I'm ready to fuck this shit up. Let's get it done. What are your questions? And let's get it over with.
Yeah, I hate the sound of my voice, and I don't know. That's why I hate doing mic work. I hate talking on the phone.
makes sense
I hate putting like delivery. Like I always make someone else call in a
you're
delivery
like,
for
"I
pizza
want
or
pizza."
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you do it? Because I don't want to be called sir right now. Like,
do you get drunk and your voice changes?
it probably gets lower because I'm just like not paying attention.
Yeah, so like when I was in the military, people thought I was from Boston. I don't know why they think my accent's Boston. They think if you're from Philly, you're a ghetto Boston guy. So that's how a lot of people are like, where are you from? Because I lost my accent completely when I was around. I would talk like this, but when I would get drunk, water would come out and other words like, where the fuck are you from? What are you saying right now? So your voice changes, you know, when you let your guard down a little bit. So I get that. So another thing that comes up is this is a mental health disorder. People that are going through transitions is a mental health thing. What do you think about that?
I don't know if it specifically is, but there's definitely mental health issues involved with it. Like
How could
I
there
was
not be?
depressed as
Yeah.
fuck like before, and
You're
you get
denying
depressed
yourself.
afterwards too for other reasons, and like that's all related to your mental health.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, not knowing who you are, you can see it being really depressing. Going through such, I mean,
Well, knowing who you are and then being
Not being-
denied
yeah,
who you are.
That honestly might have been worse than beforehand.
100%. Like, and that's my whole thing. Like, anytime anyone tries to like, cause like I'm not trans, but I'll go for the trans
Yeah.
community because I'm like, what the fuck do you care what anybody else is doing? Like, if you're worried about somebody else, there's your first problem. Like, you need to actually seek therapy for yourself because you probably have a lot of things you could work on before you start questioning this other person who
absolutely.
is dealing with their own shit.
well, see, with me, so before I left, I was a a part of groupthink where I grew up, like I said, very mostly white people.
Yeah, we're
Straight up.
programmed by
We're
the media,
programmed.
by our parents, by their parents.
And
It's
you-
literally generational like trauma, basically.
And
because-
religion too.
Yeah.
Religion is like a huge thing.
Yeah, you enjoy the hate because everyone's hating, so you're like, this is fun. We're all in a group thinking the same thing.
Well, because if you went against it, then you would be exiled.
Yeah,
And
so
you would be like, they would then go against you. Why would you want
Because
that?
you don't want anyone to think that you're gay, so you'd be going around saying like homo and faggot, but like you're not, like, and then deep down inside you're gay inside. Like
most people
you're
think I'm
going
gay.
around. Yeah.
I do sometimes think
Yeah.
Justin is gay. But I'm just like,
Of course.
I mean,
My
I don't
gaydar's
give a-
going off a
I'm
little
like,
bit. Yeah.
Is your gaydar going off? Maura is definitely gay. Maura doesn't understand how gay she is. Like, she thinks she's like 25%, but she's like 75.
You never been with a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I was like,
Yeah. So you're
Maura,
gay.
do the face to the camera. They don't know what you
I was like,
Being bi is gay.
I agree. That's what. It's funny because like, yeah, like I like told my mom, like I'm like, but it's never been like a thing. Like it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck do I need to announce this to anybody? Like I'm doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is the like end? If I brought a girl home, my dad would be like, what the fuck? But he would still think I'm cool. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's my dad. And if he didn't, I would be like, you're a weirdo. And that would be the end of it.
But that's still even more accepted. Women on women is more accepted
is true.
than anything else. So
Yeah, because
'cause
people are
men are
sick
just- yeah.
fuckers. Sick fucks.
Misogyny.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Like,
I mean,
and they want, they're like, oh, well, that means that I can fuck both of you. Like,
Yeah, I think
she
men
don't
are
want to
like,
fuck you.
They like they have this complex where they can convert a lesbian to like being
Yes.
straight, and like it's a conquest for them. They're like, oh yeah,
So
I brought
weird.
these two lesbians home. Even like they want nothing to do.
Yeah, like
with
they're
you.
literally entertaining you for themselves. Like,
so what do you think of like? So there's a lot of pronouns. What are your thoughts on all the pronouns? Are there too many? Is it whatever you want to? Are you cool with all of them? Like, what's your thoughts?
I draw the line at they them. I hope this doesn't get me canceled, but I don't fuck with like all the million other ones. I'm an old school tranny. Like she, her, he, him, they, them. But you want me to use Z, zer, it, and any of that shit? I'm like,
There's Z's out there.
I don't even want to get into it. Like,
I just found out that fae
I just-
exists, which is fairy.
yeah, like all that
I'm
stuff.
trying to-
I'm like, you guys are living in a
That was
fairy tale.
exciting.
Like you've never stepped off of Twitter and into the real world
Right.
before, and I don't want to go any further than that because someone's gonna get upset.
Right, right.
Well, you're still an older, like you're still
Yeah.
So we've had. I mean, yeah.
I
younger
transitioned
people-
8 years ago. Like the times have changed so much since then. Like even like my partners, they, them, like took a while for me to like understand like their whole identity and like not them specifically, but just non-binary people in general. But
What does non-binary mean?
It just means you're not
They're just in
either
the middle.
gender. You're not male or female.
They're just
or you're one or
existing.
the other. Sometimes you're one, or sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're neither. And I have a lot of friends who are non-binary, and I totally understand what they are and where they're coming from. But like, it took a while to understand. And most straight cis people, like, I get why they're confused or like feel like weird about using they, them as a singular pronoun. But if you're like describing someone who you don't know what gender they are, like, oh yeah, this person was in here earlier and they left something there.
Right.
You're using they to describe one person,
Yeah.
not a group. So like once you think about it that way, it makes it so much easier.
Because people don't feel like being intentional.
No.
Like, it's just easy for them to be like, he or she.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what do you mean they?
Yeah, like,
a
I'm
group
not
of
doing that
people?
for you.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
No, it's
Okay.
just like it's really easy once you think about it in that sense.
Yeah, you just
like,
be present.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
it
like, oh,
makes,
someone left their wallet here. You're
Mm-hmm.
not talking about a group. You're talking about one person.
so I'm
Yes,
I'm
good call.
somebody at this table who we all have our own perspective, right? I get talked to if I go to a bar differently than the rest of you, right?
Sure.
So we'll all be having our little secrets. You'll have girl secrets. You'll have trans, like, not secrets, but like the way people will talk to you will be the way they would talk to a girl. They would talk to a trans person. They would talk to a straight white guy, right? It's the way I present. Can't help it. That's what I do. Or gay if you watch the podcast. Doesn't matter to me. You can call me whatever you want to call me. Just call me daddy.
Just call me daddy.
But so I do hear this where they're like, well, I don't want to. I don't want to be like trying to say the right words. I don't want them to be mad at me if I use the wrong one because they feel like
Yeah.
people will get mad if you use the wrong one, which is the wrong way to. I mean, I understand you're going through something, so
Yeah.
but getting mad at somebody for using the wrong pronoun, I think would set back what your intention is.
Totally. Well, I think it's okay to ask, but like also just like read the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you saw me walking, would you think that I was a he or him just the way I'm presenting or like having like huge boobs or whatever?
You got,
like,
bro.
so like
the
you
boobs.
wouldn't think that like it's just like I don't get mad when people are like, oh, what's your pronouns? But like, just like maybe assume that I'm not he, him. Like,
Right.
and like maybe I'm the they, them, but like I'm going for she, her. And like, that's what I hope people just like assume based off of just seeing me.
Well, and it's like the intent, like I always go over this, like energy of things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if someone's being a dickhead,
Right.
like, oh, you're like she, her. Really? Like, you're being a dickhead.
Like, say you saw someone in a dress, but they had a beard and they're wearing lipstick, then like you might want to ask because
Yeah,
it's confusing.
that's true.
But
Right.
like you see someone that's just like fully done up, like long hair, full of makeup, and
Makeup,
a dress,
cute
like
outfit.
just assume that that's a she, her, because she'll appreciate it if you just been like, oh, like come here, like come, ladies,
And it's
come
like,
this
you
way.
know, like, it's
it
art.
feels good inside when like
Exactly.
if I go to a restaurant with like one of my best friends and they're like, all right, ladies, come over here, like that feels good.
Yes.
Being confused and like in a weird way is fucked up. But like if you're nice about it, be like, hey, like, can I ask you like what are your
Right,
pronouns?
like, because
But like
it's a
read
vibe,
the room
though.
If it's not confusing and like they're clearly presenting as
Right.
a man or a woman, just like go off of your gut. But like obviously some people aren't and they're gonna be like a mix of both. Then in those situations, fucking ask. Like,
Right,
they're not
yeah.
gonna be.
And it's not like
people
you're asking
actually
to be
prefer-
rude,
Yeah, those
you know?
people prefer to be asked.
yeah, like, you're curious. Like, it's curiosity versus like
being
like,
mean.
Yeah, like
whatever.
an assertive thing, like trying to like assert dominance, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. That's not the vibe.
I've been like fully done up and like I'll be buying cigarettes and the guy will be like, thank you, sir. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, why did I do my hair and makeup for you to just be like, thank you,
Do I
sir?
look that bad right now?
Like, I was like, really? I thought I looked hot, and you're just being like just
Like,
totally
yeah, just a
oblivious. Like,
douchebag.
nothing
Like-
about me is giving off male signaling. So like, why would you say that? I think it's more of like a foreign thing, I guess, because they're just uncomfortable or whatever.
Right. Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
if you're like at the Sev and that happens, it's like,
I'm just like,
Okay.
oh, yeah. I'm
Like, I'm
really?
not even gonna
or,
go
or
there.
then they're like trying to flirt with you, which is even funnier.
Do you get offended by? So I call everyone girl, guy, everyone. I usually say bro and dude a lot to people to desexualize them to myself because I have a girlfriend and I don't want people to think I'm coming on to them. So I
Yeah.
would, if I were to call you bro just in a regular conversation, like we're having a conversation, like bro, wow.
I mean, if I see you doing it to her, then I wouldn't get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're just doing it to me, then,
No,
then I would be like,
Mars-
all
yeah.
right,
Mars-
he's like signaling me out. But like, if I notice that you're just doing it to everyone, but like most people, you just can't assume that. Like I I feel weird about it. Am I talking?
No, you're
No,
good.
you're doing great,
yeah,
actually.
like
and you're leaning back. I'm like, that doesn't
I
look
say
like
dude
that.
to people all the time, or like I even say like hell yeah brother to like
Right.
like all my
Anyone.
female
Yeah.
friends, like hell yeah brother's gender neutral.
Right. That's
don't
like
be weird
daddy
about-
is
Yeah.
like gender neutral
Yeah.
too. Like daddy is an energy. Like sometimes I go into my daddy energy and it's like I got this.
I'll say like thank you king to like a girl, like
Yeah.
But like sometimes like if someone's like yeah man all the time to me, then I feel weird about it if I don't see them doing it to other people, and I just always assume that they're just being fucked up and being rude. But like no, you're fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I
I
did.
mean, literally, the guy that I'm talking to right now, he'll always text me and be like, "Bro," and I'm like, "Bro." Like,
I call Maura kid a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I say yo kid.
No
that. I
titties,
like
and
that.
now I'm a kid.
Absolutely, I have bigger tits. And Gina, tits are killing it.
Thank you.
Did you want
I'm
to?
proud of them.
Did you want a beer?
Yeah, I'll do a beer. I'll do Bud Light to be in solidarity.
Maura, you want a Bud Light?
Sure.
Maura
I
does
don't
not
even
drink,
I
but
will
because
right
of
now.
all you fuckers out
I
there.
literally, that's what. Did you see my comment today? I'm like, doesn't drink, goes and buys
Yeah.
5 cases.
Love it then what supports trans rights.
Yeah, like,
Goddamn right.
well, it's just like I just support people. Like, if you have a heartbeat, I care about you.
Yeah, why would you like?
Right,
why-
that's what I'm
why do you
saying.
fucking
People
get
are
mad?
so weird.
If you
I'm gonna
feel
shoot up a bunch of cases of beer.
if you feel yourself being angry, and
like,
hating
you still
somebody,
bought the beer though.
Like that's so gay in a derogatory.
I can't say
you.
that.
You guys can't say that, but like
Mark,
amongst my queer circle, like we'd be like,
I
oh yeah,
love-
that's so gay, but they'll be like derogatory.
That's what I went on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and they were like something about like so gay, and I was like, well, wait, are you guys saying like gay like homosexual, or are you saying because like I say gay and like I love it. Like today I was so gay and giggly like all
Yeah.
day.
Well, does that mean happy to you?
Yeah, I was loving my life.
So in our generation, gay would mean
Sucking huge dicks.
that doesn't mean that. Like we don't say like that shit's gay. Like we wouldn't say that because
Oh, we
something-
definitely used to say that.
yeah, like that's not like something you use the R word. I wouldn't even say the R word because
It's wrong. It's not right.
But like that's gay is just such a common expression. Does that like offend you in any way?
It depends on who say it. If like another gay or queer person says it, we all think it's funny. But if a straight person says it, I'm like, really? It's 2023 and you're
Really?
still
So-
using gay as a descriptive like.
So were you mad at me right there?
No, because you weren't using it like in that sense.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
There's energy to everything.
I agree. If
There's
you feel
context and energy.
if you feel
Yeah.
yourself hating somebody else, you should look back on yourself and figure out why you're hating them so much.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously like Maura said, like you said, it's obviously something within yourself.
Totally.
It took
I'm like,
me
look at the porn history. Bring the porn history.
my porn
Let
history.
us see the receipts.
Nobody see my porn history.
Yeah, I want to see every anti-gay politician's porn history.
Seriously. Well, that's the thing. Like when I was younger, like
Even like the racist ones, I guarantee you they're looking up
Yeah,
like
like
black on
BBW.
white porn
Yeah,
and shit like
1000%.
that. Like,
You'd be shocked by my porn history. Only
it's probably
because
so vanilla.
only because of the show is it crazy. Regular stuff I like girls like lubed up like that's
you like
something.
soaking.
So I like prolapse
know,
anuses.
No, I don't. Fuck, I'm pissed.
It's like this like Mormon loophole.
They
where,
can't
like,
have sex.
So they can't have premarital sex. So like basically you just like enter and don't move, and then somebody else moves the bed up and down for you, so that like
Ain't no fucking way.
So me and Gina would just be hugging. I'd be behind Gina, right? And then you would be shaking the bed. And I'm not fucking. Nobody here is having sex.
we're just
But-
inside of each other.
This is like when the girls are like, I'm a virgin. It's like, you do anal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when I think I'm being celibate and I'm like getting head.
Or
Yeah.
you're giving head. Whatever you're doing.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm celibate. They're like, that's not celibacy.
No, like the concept of oral, anal, and vaginal, like all being different. Like it's all sex. Like,
Right.
It's a whole. It's a whole.
Right. And it's just like, you know if you're horny or you're not. Like, I think it's like, if you're touching me and you're horny, it's sex.
Also, could you imagine not having sex with someone and then getting married and then like that's who you're supposed to be with your whole life without
No.
ever having sex with someone? Like you could tell right off the bat, like the
No.
first time you have sex with someone, if you're gonna spend more time with them or not.
1,000%.
I got
Or if
married-
it's dead.
Yeah.
There's this episode of Sex in the City, and I literally related so much because it was like I was hanging out with this guy, and like we weren't having sex, and I was like cool with that because I was like, oh, I really fuck with him, and like I'm cool to like build intimacy in other ways, and then we can do that. And I was like really like liking him, and then we had sex, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, I'm not having sex with him again, obviously.
Bro, I got married to somebody who didn't even like to give head. I probably came from head like 2 times my whole relationship with that whore. Like, imagine
That's
that.
Why was she a
That's
whore?
what he calls
Because
her.
she's a cheating whore. But imagine like,
so she cheated.
yeah.
Yes.
But
Okay.
imagine like,
He
and I
found
come
out because
I come
this is
so
what I
fast,
tell
too.
everyone.
She likes to.
I was like, that's
My
aggressive.
favorite.
It's just-
I know it is. That's what I'm like. I'm like, stop calling her that.
It's
But
what it is. It's not a shade. It's
I
a
mean,
whore.
I'm sure you were hurt because she cheated.
yeah, exactly. He's hurt.
So I went from my transition was being a married guy to a single
He
guy.
went from
so-
daddy to poppy, and she was basically fucking a Puerto Rican.
Fuck Puerto Rico. Go Bud Light.
Hilarious. I'm like, oh, that's how you figured it out. Is you became poppy while you
Yeah.
were fucking.
So what's it like dating as like a trans person? Because you're obviously going through a transition and
It's
then
annoying.
trying to
Right.
meet somebody who also is accepting of that.
Yeah.
How did like
So most men, they like fetishize you, and like their first questions are always like, "Does it work down there? Like, do you shoot huge cum loads and stuff?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like,
real
that's the
aggressive.
first thing you're gonna say to me?" Like, and I'll just block them immediately.
Right.
But like most men are like that are attracted to you, or as a trans person, are disgusting, and like we call them chasers. Like they just like fetishize you. And a lot of times they don't even want to fuck me. They want me to fuck them, which I have zero desire in doing.
Yeah, you're like, no, this is about me. The fuck?
And then like most women that I've been with, I felt like I was like an experiment. It was like a gateway for them to being gay. Like they were like, oh, I want to be with a girl, but like I'd rather not be with someone with like a vagina. So like the next step is like being with like a trans woman, and like I've always felt like it's just like a experiment. So it's
Yeah.
weird. Like
Yeah, no, not the vibe.
so then like
either.
you gotta like date amongst like queer people who are like bisexual is who I like aim for. Someone who likes both. Like I
Right.
don't want someone that's one or the other because
I mean, that is a nice. If you're bisexual, it's like, okay, well,
yeah, I
sometimes
know you're
you
not
can-
gonna fetishize me
Right.
because I know you're into everything. You're not just the one specific
right.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could be with a woman, you could be with a man.
Yeah.
Like you can give, you can receive.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So that's like my sweet spot. I try to find people that are more bi than either gay or straight or what. Because most straight guys don't. They think it's gay to be with a trans woman, which
right.
is silly because like
you're a woman.
yeah.
Period.
And then most straight women are afraid of vaginas, but like don't want to be with. I don't know what their deal, or they will try, but like they don't. I don't know if it's not for them. They just go back to dating men. Like
You're like,
yeah, I've
what's
dated a lot
happening?
of women who like I'll hook up with them, and then like they'll just be back with men like afterwards, like for.
you're like
forever.
lame.
Yeah.
so? What's like your kink? So we talked about other people's
Kinks?
kinks. Yeah, like what's your kink?
Where do we start?
I was like, she's either gonna say the easiest, like, oh, I just like someone to caress
Tie
my
me
hair, or you're gonna go bigger. What's
Nah,
yours?
I like bondage. I like.
You like to be bound or to bound others?
I would say mostly bonding others. I'm like a switch, but very more dominant than I am submissive. It depends on who I'm with. Like, I'd rather be the one like bounding. I like impact play. I like wax play.
Oh,
I have a
she would
fucking-
have a field day with
I have a
Nick.
St. Andrew's cross in my garage that I used to use for like kink
Shut the
parties.
fuck
My neighbors
up.
like because I'll rent it out to other people to use, and like they're just seeing me me and like a bunch of queer people carrying out a cross from my garage.
That is hilarious.
Did you do it just to fuck with them, or
No, like, I,
No,
like
there
literally,
was
I used to
parties.
throw kink parties all the time, and like I had my friend custom build me this thing. You know what a St. Andrew's cross is? It's like the X. So there's like straps up on the
Holy
top,
shit.
straps on the bottom. Yeah.
Fire. I've only seen one in real
I like
life.
humiliating men. That's always fun. Like, I want to take all their money. Like,
Right.
I don't really get off on a lot of this stuff, but I do enjoy doing it.
Yeah, like
And
playing.
it's like
It's
a role.
adult
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, I do like. I have like a lot of like whips, floggers, spanking shit.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
all really fun. Wax play, I think, is like one of the most underrated vanilla kinks. That's like hot as hell.
I've never done
you
wax.
both should try it if you haven't done it. Like, especially like if you're like blindfolded and you really trust who you're with, like it doesn't hurt that much, but like the closer you get, the more it hurts. But like you don't know where they're gonna do it, and like it hurts for like a tiny second, and then it's like really sweet and romantic afterwards to like peel the wax off of each other, because you like take turns. Like I'll like someone do it to me, and then I'll do it to somebody else. Like
I was covered in wax before. I had a bush that I grew out. I was in Iraq, right? And
Wait, what?
So I was
bush.
in
What do you mean?
So I was in Iraq.
Like
whole time.
pubes?
Yeah. So the whole time I went to Iraq, right? I couldn't.
Thinking of an actual bush, Justin, like on my lawn.
No, on my dick.
Okay.
So a bush on my dick, right? So for 7+ months, I couldn't. I could have didn't trim my pubes because you live with a bunch of other people, so it's weird to do. And when I get back that
you didn't
night,
shave each other. I thought that was like a whole thing.
Maura thinks the same thing with the meltdown. She doesn't understand what we do. She thinks we all just like don't have sex and get naked together.
I do think that.
So I get home. The night I get home, my buddies all decide to take me to a strip club before I shower, have time to do anything. And when I get to the strip club, they bring me on stage. And the girl, she has my hands tied behind me. She gets the candle. I go, no. And then she pours it down there. I go, and everyone's loving it, right? And then she lifts up my underwear. You can't even see my dick at this point. It's just in a bush. Literally, it's a bush. And I had to go home and like scissor my pubes off because they were all wax.
Yeah.
You can't use clippers at that point. So.
I try to avoid hair.
Yeah.
Oh my
Stomach
God, that would be
and
painful.
back. Stomach and back is like the best. Like,
Sweet spot.
yeah, I don't like. It's just like so simple and like so vanilla, but also like so sensual and stuff. I don't know.
Right.
So what's your favorite sex toy?
My favorite sex toy, Hitachi for sure.
What's Hitachi? That sounds like a Pokemon.
Hitachi, like the TV, like electronics brand. They make like a massage wand, but like no one uses it
it's
for
like
actually massaging.
What I told you. Yeah, it's for
the
massage.
plug in the wall?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Or if you're bougie, you get the one that's you charge it and it's cordless.
The cordless one is like
you can come
in
anywhere.
the past like 5-10 years. Like because that shit has kick.
Yeah, I used to have like someone I hooked up with for a while that worked at a sex store, and she like preached about it and had a discount. So like I splurged and got it, and like I still use it to this day. It's the best sex toy for sure.
Thank you. Still.
Like all men, if you can't get your woman to come, buy a wand and use that after, and she'll fucking come everywhere.
I think I have a pretty good percentage. I'm like 66% right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
66.
A
I
wand
come
will make
100%.
anyone come. Like it's for both
The
genders.
wand like makes me like I start to hurt almost.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
You ever see that
like-
meme? It was like me reaching for my wand again, and it's like this dried up like face. Like,
I love all like my favorite meme accounts is like Ask a Sub, Femme Fatale. Dude, my favorite.
I don't know about these ones. You gotta.
I got you. They're so entertaining. And you learn shit. I love when I learn and I'm entertained.
Yeah, the wand and like vibrating butt plug is great too. If like I know most men are afraid to put shit up their butt, but like if you put a vibrating butt plug and then start fucking somebody else,
Yep.
it's great for you and your partner. It feels like they're
It's like
being
the
fucked
gooch.
by a human vibrator because
So
your
if
dick
it's
is
up your-
vibrating.
If it's up your butt, your dick vibrates too?
Yeah.
So that's a tough sell for me. I'm just going to throw that out there. Tough
But
sell for me.
you
but
might like it. Most men are afraid, but they'll actually like it because everyone has nerves in their butthole. Whether or not you use it or not doesn't make you gay because there's something in your butt. Like everyone has nerves.
So
Yes.
Maura, I'm curious.
What?
You're a woman. You have sex with men.
Yes.
So if you were to have sex with a man and he likes getting a finger up the butt, would you consider him gay?
No.
Because you're the one doing it. So at what line does it become gay? Like if you put a dildo on,
If a man does it, if he's
Yeah,
with
only if
another
a man does it,
and
right?
The man
Yeah,
puts his
if he
finger up
gets
his
fucked
butt.
by a man.
but if it's a girl with a dildo,
Like, okay, like there's
like
this
Nick does a lot of strap-ons.
Like there's a guy.
That's
I was
that's
hooking
not
up
gay. It's just everyone has nerves down there. If it's with a man, it's gay. If it's with a woman, it's not gay.
and then there's this little line that I have dealt with where like a straight man has asked me to like have a three-way with another man, but then there's like specifics about the man.
Like what he,
What he
can
looks
and
like,
cannot
or-
do.
Like no, like he has to have a big dick too.
That's kind of gay.
I know.
That's pretty gay.
if you're talking about
Is the other man fucking him too?
No. He's
no-
like,
But why
I
does he
want.
care about his
I
dick
don't,
size?
because he has a big dick.
he needs the other guy to have just as big a dick as him.
That's weird. Why would you want a small? You wouldn't want a smaller dick in the room if I was having sex with somebody.
That's why I get confused. I mean, I'm like, I would like if I could facilitate that for him, I would. But like, it's also like a hard sell too to someone else. You know, like, hey, what's your dick? Do you want to fuck me with this guy? Like what?
I feel like that's cool that he's comfortable.
I
feel
do.
like most
Agree.
straight men
Agree.
don't want to have threesomes with another guy.
No,
They're
I
always
agree.
like, I want 2 girls and a guy.
And that's why I was like, if we did that, I would go into full princess mode.
Yeah.
Like this shit is about me at that point. Like,
Eiffel Tower the whole time.
well, someone can suck on my neck and someone can suck on my pussy at the same
But
time.
again, no dicks because she is gay. In case anyone's curious, she will not. She does not understand how gay she is, but it's fine. Nobody cares. People think I'm gay.
I
So
haven't had one with me and 2 guys. I've had multiple with 2 other girls or one with a guy and a girl.
And a girl, yeah.
And those are all been fun, but I've never had one with me and 2 guys. I don't know
I
how
guess
I would feel
no,
about
it's
that.
aggressive. It's kind of aggressive.
I think it
because-
might be kind of hot, like seeing like 2 guys like being like excited to fuck me.
Well, that's
but,
why
like,
I said I would go into
like
princess
I
mode.
sometimes I'll verge into like gangbang porn and like imagine myself being like, oh my god, I made 10 guys hard, like they all want to fuck me, like that's kind of hot. But I don't know if I could actually
like,
do that. Like,
So what's your relationship like? Do you guys have an open relationship? You're talking about
yeah,
like,
we're open. Yeah.
Okay, so like, do you guys live in the same house?
No.
Okay, you live separately. Can you? I'm guessing that means you can bring other partners into the same bed that you would share with
Yeah.
your partner.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that was Bev. No, not Bev. Who was that? And Mary Pat.
Mary Pat.
Who couldn't bring other partners into their own bed, but they
Yeah, that'd be weird.
or no, they could.
Well, they live together.
That's like that's like a totally different.
And so that
vibe.
I think that they had literally like a spare bedroom.
No, I get that. Like my partner has only lived with all their exes for like the last like 10 years. So like when we started dating, this is like the first time they've lived on their
By
own, and they're like,
themselves,
I
yeah.
only want to live on my own, and I'm like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready to move in, like I would be down, but like
Right.
I'm not forcing you or pressuring
Well,
you
and
in
it's
any
like
way. And I also like
nice
if we
having
were
your
to do
space.
that, it would like my roommate would have to move out, and then like they'd have their own room, and I'd have my own room, and like that's the only way I could possibly live with a partner. I think it's important to have your own space.
Agreed. We were just talking about this yesterday, me and all my girlfriends. Like Jules literally just said yesterday, if I have a house with my man, like minimum 4 bedrooms, because we need our bedroom, I need my bedroom, he can have his bedroom, and then there'll be like an office or something.
Sex space.
Or
Yeah.
like
Where you just tie each other up with the, what'd you call it, the cross?
St. Andrew's Cross.
St. Andrew's cross. You got to have that one.
Yeah, I also have a spanking bench in my room right now. That my friend.
Do you
also
live in
built.
your own apartment then?
No, I have a house in Port Richmond.
Okay, and then is your house? What's like your like wash rack?
I'm
Like,
gonna need to come over.
what's your,
Take
what's
the
your
dog
dish
for a
rack look
walk.
like? Because it sounds like you have a lot of sex toys. I asked Nick
My
this.
what?
Your dish rack, right? Are things just drying on there?
No, I don't. I wash all that shit by hand in my bathroom.
Okay,
I don't
well,
fucking put that in the
I was
dishwasher.
so embarrassed the other day. My friend took a shower at my house, a guy, and
Jesus, what was on the walls?
My showers. Yeah, there's shit.
yeah, same. My drying rack is in my shower. And
was-
so my rose was just in there, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." And then when I like lived with my roommate, he would come home sometimes without me knowing he was coming home, and then I would have like my my dildos like on my towel next to my sink. And the one day he came home and he just like sent me a picture, and he's like, laughed my ass off. I'm like, stop it.
No, I'm like very thankful that I have my own bathroom in my
Oh, yeah,
bedroom,
that works
and my
perfect.
roommate has his own bathroom, so like we don't share any type of
Right, you're like, mind your business.
Yeah, he'll borrow like some of my whips or flogger sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because he's like starting to dive into like a kinky relationship, but like
You better wash that shit good. don't be
I
bringing
mean,
it back.
it's fine.
no, like this, like it's just like you're
Like a
spanking
paddle.
skin. Yeah, you're not. I don't need to. It's leather. I don't.
That's
need to
like
wash
my roommate
that.
had a sex swing, and he's like, you can use it, just like Clorox it when you're done. I'm like, all right, cool.
Did you use it?
No, and he took it. Fucker.
Well, again, Maura doesn't have sex very often. She'll snuggle with anyone. If you guys want to snuggle, just hit up MarbyXL on Instagram. But she will not have sex, and she'll make you change your hair, whatever you have.
Stop, you're making me sweat.
So, Gina, is there anything you want to let the world know about trans people that they don't already know? Like maybe whatever you want to say. Look into that camera and tell those motherfuckers. Bud Light should be a sponsor.
We're not as annoying as Dylan Mulvaney.
You're like, no, seriously, fuck that bitch.
That person was annoying. I gotta
All
agree
right,
that.
here's the deal with her. She's a theater kid.
Yeah, of
You all know
course.
theater kids from high school. They don't grow out of that. I know a bunch of them that are in their 30s. They're the same as they were in high school. Like they're just like
Razzle
so
dazzle.
eccentric and like everything is like fucking song and dance. Like once I realized that was her deal, I was like, oh, this makes total sense. Like,
Right. And it's just like, okay, that's her. Fine.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Yeah,
Period.
I don't follow her. I
Yeah.
never see her shit otherwise until all these other people got butthurt and kept reposting.
And then you're
it.
like digging in. You're like, what's going on over here?
There was like a clip of her like on a game show before she transitioned, and she was acting the same exact way. Like I was like, this is literally just a theater kid
Right.
grown up.
Right. Like that's just
Fucking
who
nerd.
she is. Yeah. Like that's just it.
So let's get to the promotion aspect. Maura, there's a camera in front of your face. Promote whatever you'd like to promote.
I would like to promote Fairy Garden Mindset and Love and Then What and INR Studios and Gina. And Feeling Good. And that's really all I got today.
Gina, camera in front of your face. Promote whatever you want to promote.
Come to the Dolphin first Fridays and second Fridays.
At 3 a.m. or what time?
No, those are 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay, and then you can follow.
How boring.
How can we
Follow
follow
me,
you?
What's Up Gina on all socials.
And then if you have an underground thing, you're gonna invite me and Mar.
Yeah, I'll send you the flyers.
Fine.
I'll have to know like
Next week, I have a couple I can send you.
You already know
cool.
about them?
Yeah, I'm DJing one. I'm closing at 5 to 6 a.m.
Oh my God,
I
I'll
will
go
not be
before the
showing
gym.
the address online.
Mar doesn't. You can do that. You're fine with
Hard techno.
I love it.
Yeah.
it. Is that like?
I'll wear a little-
Is Do Hus too hard or is that not
No,
hard?
it's not hard enough.
That's all.
I play like Rammstein at my goth night sometimes, but
I like Rammstein.
I've never done a goth night. That could be
funnest. Come on Friday. I'll put you
Me
on the
and,
guest
like,
list. Yeah, come Friday.
cool. Fairy outfit, like
I fucking love when people show up in like all white or pink to goth night. Everyone's all black, and then like people are like just like, but
like,
they're
"Here,
still into
doing
the
my
music,
best,"
so like
yeah.
you don't care. Like
So I want to thank Gina again for coming out. Check her out on
Thank
social
you for
media.
having me.
Gina. Thank you again for being so open. I know a lot of the questions I answered.
yeah, no,
were
I'm
probably
glad to
uncomfortable.
educate.
Thank you for sharing
Cheers.
with the world. Thank you, Bud Light, for
Cheers.
possibly sponsoring the next episode. Check out Mar on Instagram, MarBXO. Listen to Love and Then What. If you only listened, watch it on YouTube, subscribe, like all
Gina's
those fun.
boobs are amazing.
Great if you want to see the boobs, which I can't believe are only drugs. Congratulations to drugs. Big ups. All right, our studios, thank you for hosting this. And Robbie, hit the button.
Good job, guys.
Wow,
How do you feel?
that was fun.
I know definitely probably easy, but I'm glad you